So let's take a moment to talk about the radio I've selected to use in my trawler. First thing I want to say is that if you have a 20 or 30-year-old VHF radio, there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't be able to keep using it, assuming that it works properly. In fact, I have a radio that I bought about 15, 20 years ago. It's been sitting in my boat shop all these years waiting to be installed on this boat. But as I got closer to kind of working through all the electrical items on the boat, well, I decided to upgrade and purchase a more modern radio, something that has quite a few more features. And we're going to talk about that. This is a Uniden Solara D UM380. This is a radio from about 15, 20 years ago. I purchased it at West Marine. I think it was on sale for around $100, $120. It's a basic VHF radio. It looks like this. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it does have what's called DSC. When you're looking at selecting a radio for your boat, you'll notice that there's all sorts of kind of acronyms that are thrown into the description for the marine radio. DSC, AIS, GPS, all sorts of things that they throw in there. Trust me, they're not trying to confuse you. They're just laying out all the specifications and trying to tell you what the radio is capable of doing. Let's talk about the three most important ones. DSC stands for Digital Selective Calling. It's a digital means of communication that allows the transfer of data from your radio to someone, say, on shore or on another ship. They can receive your position, to transmit data about your speed, your course, a variety of other things. You'll find DSC on radios going back 15 or 20 years. This Uniden has the DSC feature. It's primarily advertised as a man overboard type of situation. Someone falls overboard, you hit the DSC, and it puts out a position and kind of lets everyone else know what's going on, that you're having an emergency. The second one is called AIS. It's a little bit newer feature and a little bit more high-end. AIS stands for Automatic Information System. It allows a ship to transmit information about itself. Who it is, what it's doing, where it's going, all sorts of information. And someone can then watch and track you real time. Say if they have a receiver or a chart plotter, it'll show them graphically where you are on their chart plotter. Just because a radio has AIS capabilities doesn't mean that it transmits automatically. In most cases, you need a separate transponder, a transmitter, to send out a signal. Most radios that have AIS, most marine radios that have AIS, it just means that it's capable of receiving the AIS signals that are coming from ships around you. The third one is GPS. We all know about Global Positioning System. Satellites overhead give a very precise position. When you have this feature on your radio, usually you're able to look on the screen and it'll actually give you the coordinates of where you are. All this technology comes with some different price points, right? The simpler radios, these VHF radios that only transmit, receive, maybe have a DSC feature, well, they'll run you somewhere around $100, maybe $150. Radios that are AIS capable, well, they kind of move into the next bracket, say $300 to about $400. And then if you want a radio like I have here that's got all the bells and whistles you could possibly imagine, that's going to run you about $450, $500.
Let's talk about this PA feature for a second. This feature is what actually raised the price of this radio I selected.
PA stands for Public Address System. It's like a Loudhailer. You can actually talk into the microphone on the radio and it broadcasts out that speaker. Just like you would have at your gymnasium at school, or you hear the police boats when they pull up on you in the middle of the night. Ask me how I know. I'll be honest, I like the idea of having a PA because I hate having to shout from the inside of the boat to the outside of the boat, or people are screaming back and forth trying to understand what's going on. It just creates a chaotic situation. One of the advantages of having a PA system is that some of them allow you to have what's called a talkback feature. And what that means is that Your PA speaker is mounted on the exterior of your boat, usually on the top of the boat facing the foredeck. And when you have a crew member who's out on the foredeck doing something, or someone who's talking to you across the foredeck, the speaker can receive what they're saying and actually broadcast it inside the pilot house through the radio to the helmsman. Another advantage of the PA system in these radios is that it allows you to have some pre-programmed fog signals. So you're out, you're traveling across the water, the fog sets in, and instead of having to manually sound a horn or a bell in the given increments, for good seamanship, well, the radio does all this stuff automatically, and it sounds a tone or a noise through the loudspeaker broadcasted out in front of the boat. What I wanted to show you was kind of physically what these things look like, because I wasn't very familiar with it when I was going through trying to, pull this information out of the catalog to figure out, well, which one did I want? My selection of the radio really had to do with the features that I wanted. You have to get into a certain price bracket in order to get the features that you want. That's just the way it works. And some of the radios, even though they have some of the features, well, very few of them have all of the features. So you really got to pay attention to the fine print insofar as what the radio is capable of doing. Take a look at this. So this is a standard VHF radio. This is what it looks like. Like I said, this radio is about 15, 20 years old. If you're going to be putting this in a dash, you might want to know this information. But just to give you an idea, this thing is about 2.5 inches deep. This is a newer radio with all the functions and stuff like that. Well, they've gotten quite a bit deeper. They're now about 3.25 inches deep. It's not a big difference, but it's enough that if you're working on a dash or say a nav pod where you've got to squeeze something into a space, you really are going to want to make sure, how big one of these things is. There's quite a bit of difference between the weight in these. This one's quite a bit heavier compared to this one from say 15, 20 years ago. Take a look. We'll put them side by side here and we'll kind of show. All right, so you can kind of see that. So they're not significantly different, but there is a definite difference, if you're kind of retrofitting one of these things into your trawler or sailboat restoration. Almost all of them come with some sort of bracket that attaches right here, and you can attach it to the ceiling. And then there are also mounts on the side here to allow you to flush mount one of these. I'll be talking about that when I install this in the nav pod.
Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out some of the other episodes where I talk about the gear that I'm putting in my boat restoration projects.